Rathula.
Thank you. Honourable Senators, I rise today to call attention to the link between Canada's past, present and future prosperity and its deep connection to immigration. Senator Umedwar first rose in this chamber to launch an inquiry on the link between prosperity and immigration in February of last year, or a month before the beginning of the pandemic. Since then, many things have changed, but immigrants' contributions to Canada have not. As my colleagues have aptly pointed out in the past, many new Canadians have been on the front lines of the pandemic, either by caring for the sick and elderly or ensuring that Canadians continue to have access to fresh produce. Senator Lafreda, through his own story, has shown us that when arriving in Canada, hard work is paramount. Senator Ravalia has spoken eloquently of his journey from Zimbabwe, where he was judged by his ethnicity, to Newfoundland, where he was judged by his ability, humanity, and integration into his new home. In return, he has dedicated much of his medical career to his community. In short, immigrants are not only essential workers, they are essential to Canada. Today, I would like to challenge our notion of prosperity, which is often equated to material wealth and social status. Like Senator Simons, I remember attending Edmonton's 3-day Heritage Festival, where over 100 different home countries and cultures met. Similarly, the streets of Toronto, under normal circumstances, come to life in the summer. Festivals and food trucks fill the streets with smells and sights from over the world. I have fond memories of attending caravans where it was possible to travel the world without leaving the city. This is also prosperity. I can relate to both Senator Lafreda's life story and Senator Simons' love for cultural events. Today, I would like to talk about how Canada has been enriched by immigrants and specifically about their influence on Canadian cuisine. Canadian cuisine is often discredited, although Lenore Newman, author of Speaking in Cod Tongues, A Canadian Culinary Journey, shows that it is entwined with the historical truths of Canadian identity: fresh, wild, seasonal, multicultural, and regionally distinct. For instance, a trip to our national capital would be incomplete without a beaver tail on the Rideau Canal or an Obama cookie in the Bayward Market. However, Ottawa is also considered the shawarma capital of Canada. Similarly, Halifax is renowned for its lobster, but in 2015, Halifax City voted to make doner the city's official food. Now the Halifax doner can be found in restaurants across Nova Scotia. Unfortunately, COVID-19 has upended our lives for over a year, forcing us to search new ways to cope with loss, anxiety, and an uncertain future. Many Canadians, myself included, have turned to comfort food, and we have tried to support local businesses who have been struggling during these unprecedented times. I would like to share with you some of the most popular dishes among Canadians during the first wave of the pandemic. The most ordered dishes in Canada were the traditional poutine, as well as miso soup, pad thai, naan, edamame, shawarma, and in first place, Senators, was butter chicken. I believe this is a testament to our multicultural culture and cuisine. We often equate prosperity with a balanced budget and a higher GDP, but linking human flourishing to higher levels of material consumption is unsustainable. Cultural activities are a way of achieving a sustainable form of prosperity where humans flourish through their capability to engage with cultural and creative practices and communities. I believe that by continuing to welcome Canadians we ensure that every generation will continue to flourish and to find their own version of prosperity. And I see that my friend, Senator Munson, is not here, but I want to take this opportunity to say, Senator Munson, I have enjoyed working with you in the Senate, in this chamber, and outside on many of the various groups and that we're fond of, and that we support, specifically Canada, Africa, where I have really enjoyed your interactions, and you really knew what was happening throughout the world. I guess that goes back to your time as a reporter, and you contributed so much. So I thank you, and you will be missed. And Senators, thank you, and have a good summer.